The Handsome Village Warrior and the Shadow Spirit. Part 1. The Spirit from the Ancient Marula Tree. Chapter 1. The Call of the Marula Tree. In the heart of the great savanna, where the golden grass waved under the fierce African sun, there stood an ancient Marula tree. This tree, with its roots digging deep into the earth and branches stretching towards the heavens, was said to be as old as the land itself. Among the villagers of Nuruti, it was known as the Tree of Wisdom, for it was believed that the spirits of the ancestors resided within its hollow trunk, whispering secrets to those who would listen. Mazili, a young boy with eyes that sparkled like the stars, lived in the village of Nuruti. His father, a respected elder, often took him to the Marula tree to teach him the ways of their people. Mazili loved these moments, listening to his father's deep voice recounting the tales of old. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the land, Mazili's father took him to the Marula tree once more. The air was thick with anticipation, and the leaves rustled with a mysterious energy. Mazili, his father began, our ancestors have lived in harmony with the land for generations. They have passed down their wisdom through stories and traditions. Tonight you will hear a tale that has been told for centuries, a tale of courage, wisdom, and the bond between man and nature. Mazili sat beneath the Marula tree, his heart pounding with excitement. His father's voice grew deeper, resonating with the spirit of the ancestors. Long ago, in a time when the land was wild and untamed, there lived a great hero named Kwadele. He was a man of extraordinary strength and unwavering courage. Kwadele was chosen by the spirits to protect the land and its people from the darkness that threatened to consume them. As his father spoke, Mazili could almost see the mighty Kwadele standing tall, his spear glinting in the sunlight, ready to defend his people. The story of Kwame's bravery filled Mazili's heart with awe and inspiration. Kwadele's greatest challenge came when the Shadow Beast, a creature born of darkness and malice, emerged from the depths of the forest. It was said that the Shadow Beast could consume the very light from the sky, plunging the world into eternal night. The villagers lived in fear, for the Shadow Beast was powerful and relentless. Mazili's father paused, his eyes reflecting the flickering light of the setting sun. But Kwadele was not afraid. He knew that the only way to defeat the Shadow Beast was to confront it with the strength and wisdom of the ancestors. Mazili leaned closer, hanging on his father's every word. Kwadele journeyed deep into the forest, guided by the spirits. He faced many trials, but his courage never wavered. At last, he confronted the Shadow Beast in a battle that shook the very earth. With the power of the ancestors flowing through him, Kwadele struck down the beast, restoring light and peace to the land. As his father finished the tale, Mazili felt a profound sense of pride in his heritage, and a burning desire to be as brave and wise as Kwadele. The Marula tree seemed to hum with approval, its ancient branches swaying gently in the evening breeze. Mazili, his father said, placing a hand on his shoulder, you too have the spirit of the ancestors within you. One day you will be called to protect our people, just as Kwadele did. Remember the lessons of the Marula tree and the courage of our forefathers. That night, Mazili dreamed of the ancient hero, Kwadele, and the Shadow Beast. He saw himself standing tall, with the strength of the ancestors coursing through his veins. As the dawn broke over the savanna, Mazili knew that his journey was just beginning. The Marula tree stood silent, its roots intertwined with the past, and its branches reaching towards the future. The spirits of the ancestors watched over Mazili, their whispers carried on the wind, guiding him towards his destiny. Chapter 2. The Healer's Wisdom. In the days that followed, Mazili's mind was consumed by the tale of Kwadele and the shadow beast. His father's words echoed in his ears, and the images of the mighty hero filled his dreams. Mazili knew that he needed to learn more if he was to fulfill the destiny his father had spoken of. One morning, as the first light of dawn touched the village, Mazili set out to visit the wise woman of Nuruti, Nana Amazu. She was a healer, known for her deep knowledge of herbs and the secrets of the land. Many said she could speak to the spirits and understand their will. Her hut, surrounded by lush greenery and the scent of healing plants, was a place of refuge and wisdom. Nana Amazu, Mazili greeted her respectfully, bowing his head. "I seek your guidance. My father told me the story of Kwadele and the shadow beast. I wish to learn how I can be as brave and wise as him." Nana Amazu's eyes, as sharp as an eagle's, studied Mazili for a moment. She motioned for him to sit by the hearth where a small fire crackled, filling the hut with warmth. "Mazili, my child," she began, her voice gentle yet powerful. "The path of a hero is not an easy one. It requires not just strength, but also wisdom, compassion, and a deep connection to the land and its spirits." Mazili nodded, eager to absorb her teachings. Nana Amazu reached for a bundle of herbs, crushing them between her fingers. The fragrant scent filled the air, calming and invigorating. "These herbs," she said, "are gifts from the earth. They hold the power to heal and protect. A true hero must understand the balance of nature and respect its gifts." She handed Mazili a small pouch filled with various dried leaves and roots. "Take these. Learn their properties. Use them wisely, for they can be both a shield and a weapon." Mazili accepted the pouch with reverence, realizing that his journey would require not just physical strength, but also knowledge and respect for the natural world. Nana Amazu's wisdom was a vital part of his training, and he vowed to honor her teachings. Over the next few weeks, Mazili spent his days learning from Nana Amazu. He discovered the healing properties of different plants, the ways to soothe wounds and illnesses, and the art of listening to the whispers of the spirits in the wind. Nana Amazu taught him the ancient songs and chants that could call upon the ancestors for guidance and strength. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the village, Mazili felt a strange sensation. It was as if the air itself was alive with a message. He closed his eyes, listening to the rustling of the leaves and the distant calls of the animals. A vision began to form in his mind, a dark cloud spreading across the savannah, devouring everything in its path. "Mazili," Nana Amazu's voice broke through his trance. "What did you see?" Mazili described the vision, his voice trembling with fear. Nana Amazu nodded solemnly. "The darkness you saw is a warning. The shadow beast may have been defeated by Kwadele, but such evil can never be truly destroyed. It can return in different forms, seeking to plunge our world into chaos once more." Her words sent a shiver down Mazili's spine. The realization that the shadow beast's legacy could still threaten his people filled him with a sense of urgency. He knew that his training with Nana Amazu was just the beginning. The true test of his courage and wisdom lay ahead. Nana Amazu placed a comforting hand on Mazili's shoulder. "Remember, Mazili, you are not alone. The spirits of our ancestors are with you, guiding you. You have the strength of Kwadele within you and the wisdom of the Marula tree. Trust in yourself and in the path that lies before you." Mazili looked into Nana Amazu's eyes, seeing the reflection of his own determination. He felt a surge of confidence, knowing that he had the support of his community and the guidance of the wise woman. As the night enveloped the village, Mazili made a silent vow to protect his people and uphold the legacy of the great hero Kwadele. The stars above twinkled like ancient eyes, watching over him, and the spirits of the ancestors whispered their approval on the wind. Mazili's journey was just beginning, and he knew that with the wisdom of Nana Amazu and the strength of the ancestors, he could face whatever challenges lay ahead. Chapter 3: The Trial of the Spirits. As the seasons changed, Mazili's training continued. He grew stronger, not just in body, but in spirit. The teachings of Nana Amazu and the stories of his father became the foundation of his resolve. However, the vision of the spreading darkness haunted him, a constant reminder of the looming threat. One day, as the village prepared for the annual harvest festival, Mazili was approached by Elder Badu, the village chief. Badu was a stern man with eyes that seemed to pierce through to one's soul. He carried with him the weight of many generations and was deeply respected by all. Mazili, Elder Badu said, his voice grave. The time has come for you to undergo the trial of the spirits. It is a test that every future protector of our village must face. You will journey to the sacred grove, where the spirits of our ancestors reside. There you will confront your greatest fears and prove your worth. Mazili's heart raced with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. He knew that this trial was an essential part of his journey, a rite of passage that would prepare him for the battles ahead. Elder Badu handed Mazili a small, intricately carved wooden figure. This talisman will guide you and protect you on your journey. Remember, the spirits are with you. Trust in their wisdom and your own strength. With the talisman clutched tightly in his hand, Mazili set out towards the sacred grove. The path was long and winding, leading him through dense forests and across clear streams. As he walked, he could feel the presence of the ancestors, their whispers carried on the breeze. When he finally reached the sacred grove, the air was thick with an otherworldly energy. The trees seemed to glow with an inner light, and the ground beneath his feet felt alive with the pulse of the earth. Mazili took a deep breath, steadying himself for what lay ahead. He stepped into the center of the grove, where a circle of stones marked the sacred ground. As he did, a figure emerged from the shadows. A tall, imposing figure with eyes that gleamed like fire. It was the spirit of Kwadele, the great hero of old. Mazili, Kwadele's voice was deep and resonant. You have come to face the trial of the spirits. To prove your worth, you must confront your deepest fears and doubts. Only then can you become the protector our people need. Mazili nodded, his heart pounding. He knew that this was a test of his courage and his faith in himself and the spirits. Suddenly, the ground beneath him trembled, and the air grew cold. Dark shapes began to materialize around him, shifting and swirling like smoke. Mazili recognized them as the shadows from his vision, the darkness that threatened to consume the land. The shadows closed in, whispering taunts and doubts. You are not strong enough. You cannot defeat the darkness. You will fail your people. Mazili felt a wave of fear wash over him, but he remembered the teachings of Nana Amazu and the story of Kwadele. He took a deep breath, calling upon the strength of the ancestors. I am not afraid, he said firmly. I have the courage of Kwadele and the wisdom of the spirits. I will not let the darkness defeat me. As he spoke these words, the talisman in his hand began to glow with a bright, golden light. The shadows recoiled, hissing and writhing. Mazili felt a surge of power coursing through him, banishing the darkness with the light of his conviction. The shadows dissipated, leaving the grove bathed in a serene, golden glow. Kwadele stepped forward, his expression one of pride and approval. You have passed the trial, Mazili. You have shown that you possess the strength, courage, and wisdom to protect our people. The spirits are with you, always. Mazili bowed his head in gratitude, feeling the weight of his ancestors' approval. He knew that this was just the beginning of his journey, but he felt more prepared than ever to face the challenges ahead. As he made his way back to the village, the sacred grove faded into the distance, but the light of the spirits remained with him. Mazili had proven his worth, and he was ready to embrace his destiny as the protector of Nuruti. The path ahead was uncertain, but with the guidance of the ancestors and the strength of his resolve, he knew he could face any challenge that came his way. Chapter 4. The Shadow Returns. Mazili's return to the village was met with celebration and pride. The villagers rejoiced in his success, for they knew that he was now their protector, blessed by the spirits and ready to defend them from any threat. The Harvest Festival was a time of joy, with music, dancing, and feasting filling the air. But beneath the surface of their celebrations, a sense of unease lingered. The vision of the spreading darkness still haunted Mazili's dreams, and he could feel the shadow of danger lurking on the horizon. One night, as the village slept under the watchful gaze of the stars, Mazili was awakened by a strange sound. It was a low, rumbling growl, echoing through the night. He sat up, his heart pounding, and listened intently. The sound grew louder, accompanied by the distant cries of animals. Mazili sprang to his feet, grabbing his spear and the talisman Nana Amazu had given him. He rushed out of his hut, his eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of danger. The villagers began to stir, awakened by the unsettling noise. Elder Badu emerged from his hut, his face etched with concern. "Mazili, what is happening?" Mazili shook his head, his senses on high alert. "I don't know, but we must be ready. Gather everyone in the center of the village and stay close to the fire. I will investigate." With a nod, Elder Badu began rallying the villagers, while Mazili headed towards the source of the noise. His heart raced as he moved through the shadows, the talisman glowing softly in his hand. As he approached the edge of the village, he saw a dark shape looming in the distance. It was a massive creature, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. The shadow beast had returned, more terrifying than the stories had described. Its presence sent a wave of fear through Kofi, but he knew he could not falter. "Mazili!" a familiar voice called out. It was Nana Amazu, her face stern but calm. "The beast has returned, but you are ready. Remember the lessons of the spirits and the strength of Kwadele. You can defeat it." Mazili nodded, his resolve hardening. He took a deep breath, calling upon the strength of the ancestors. "I will not let it harm our people," he vowed. With the talisman in one hand and his spear in the other, Mazili approached the shadow beast. The creature roared, its voice echoing through the night like thunder. It lunged at Mazili, its claws slashing through the air. But Mazili was quick, dodging the attack and striking back with his spear. The battle was fierce, the shadow beast relentless in its assault. But Mazili fought with the courage of Kwadele and the wisdom of the spirits. He used the talisman to summon the light, driving back the darkness with each strike. As the fight raged on, Mazili could feel the power of the ancestors flowing through him. He remembered the teachings of Nana Amazu and the trial in the sacred grove. He was not alone. The spirits were with him, guiding his every move. With a final, powerful thrust, Mazili drove his spear into the heart of the shadow beast. The creature let out a deafening roar before collapsing to the ground, its dark form dissolving into the earth. The night fell silent, and the air grew still. Mazili stood over the fallen beast, his chest heaving with exhaustion. He had done it. He had defeated the shadow beast and protected his people. The talisman in his hand glowed with a warm, comforting light, a sign of the spirit's approval. As he made his way back to the village, he walked across the Marula tree, and right under the tree stood a beautiful lady, Marula, grinning from ear to ear, nodding a sign of approval. Mazili looked at her in admiration, and he was curious of the present of the lady, since her face seemed unrecognized and unknown. She welcomed him and walked with him back to the village. Mazili was met with cheers and applause. The villagers surrounded him, their faces filled with gratitude and admiration, as well as surprised at the new unrecognized face of the lady that followed him back. Elder Badu stepped forward, placing a hand on Mazili's shoulder. "You have proven yourself, Mazili. You are our protector, the true heir to Kwadele's legacy." Mazili nodded, his heart swelling with pride. He knew that his journey was far from over, but he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the strength of the ancestors and the support of his people, he could overcome any darkness. As they reached Mazili's hut, the beautiful lady knelt by Mazili and told him that her name is Marula, the daughter of the Marula tree. She told Mazili that she was sent by the Marula tree to guide him in protecting the village and to stay by him in eternity. Mazili was astonished and amazed, and at the same time happy. He has heard of ancient stories of people born of the tree, but has never imagined he will be seeing one or having one by him till eternity. He admired Marula's beauty and was ready to listen to all she has to tell him of their ways and the powers she possesses. The village of Nuruti had found its new hero in Mazili, and Mazili was determined to honor the legacy of Kwadele and the spirits. The shadow had been vanquished, but the light of the ancestors would guide them always, protecting them from any threat that might come their way. As Mazili lay down to sleep that night, his dreams was filled with echoes from the shadow beast screaming, "I'm coming back for you. I am not done yet." These dreams keeps tormenting Mazili, knowing the shadow beast will be back soon. Tune in again for part 2, dear audience, to witness the captivating plot twist in this African saga of strength, power, and love. Remember, all is fair in strength and unity, but love conquers all. As you navigate the story, leave us a comment on your thoughts, your wish, your assumptions, and your conclusion about the story. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories from us. See you next time.